defense in terms of the opportunities and forcing turnovers. You guys have been talking about that since you got here. What have you seen in this camp that maybe gives you hope that you can bump that up?
Yeah, so first our mentality is going to sound like a downer a little bit, but it's never good enough. So we're always missing strip attempts. We're always missing opportunities where we want to seize those opportunities because they come around and you got to seize them. And we're always working at our guys on that. So we'll show the guys the great plays they make on the ball. Like today they made a couple, and it's about strip attempts. So every single time we'll talk about, hey, you missed 4 strip attempts today, or you had, and you had 3 or 4 good ones. But that's really important to us, and that's part of our principle that we believe in, the takeaway part of it. And so we're working on it day to day, but it's never good enough.
If you guys, I don't know if you put that number out there, players talk about 40.
Yeah.
Which is way up there.
Yep.
Is it, shoot for the moon and see what you get to?
Yeah, I mean it's one of those things where you're shooting for perfection and you'll catch excellence, the old saying. But I think that when you set the bar high like that, it's on their mind, and it is achievable. We can achieve it. It's been done in the past. I think the highest for the Colts, I want to say, is the high 30s. Quite a few years back, so we're just shooting for that. It's a goal that we have, but again, we understand the mission is to go out and do it one game at a time, and we understand we have to do that. But it's going to be hard to reach, but we have to seize the opportunities like I talked about before. You can't miss those opportunities.
Did you throw that number out there, or was that one of the players?
That's just the NFL greats of the history of the NFL. That 40 number, that's just there. It's one of those numbers that's really super high, and a few teams have achieved it, and we're just trying to search for that.
Hey, Matt, you came on board before Frank got hired. Why, in the years, why do you think Frank and Chris's relationship has been so good as far as to make, try to build this team?
Yeah, I would just say quality. I mean, in substance. So you talk about 2 quality men. Just from inside out, and then the substance they have in terms of, what they bring to the table in terms of their functional intelligence and in their job, and then the ability to come together, personality-wise, for the good of the team. You've seen that time in and time out, and it's been pleasing to watch, and I've learned a lot from watching that.
How would you describe it? You said personality-wise. How would you describe their personality?
Well, I mean, I would say that, I think, you say that word personality, you think about our personalities, right? I mean, it's the gamut of from A to Z, right? So they're that way too. They're human beings, and they have gamut, from personality A to Z. I would say that but at the end of the day, they want what's good for the team, and that's what they both have.
Matt, what was your vantage point of Quiddy's injury?
I didn't see it. Of course, I'm a secondary guy, so and linebacker guy, so I was looking down the field, but I did not see it, and I don't know any more than that right now.
If he's out for a week or whatever, not having Carolina against Carolina, that'll be, I won't say a setback, but
well, it's reps that we wish you would have had. That's for sure. Going against the opponent, that's coming in here. And I think that's good for everybody. It's good for the corners. It's good for the linebackers. It's the matchup, the whole matchup conversation. It's good for that too. So he's going to miss that if he does indeed, and we'll have to make it up another way.
How encouraged are you by the way that the young defensive ends have played, especially rush the passer so far in this camp?
Yeah, they've been doing well. It's been a day-to-day process, and I think that they've been doing well in the one-on-ones. They've been doing good in team drills. They've been progressing. They've been learning their fastball, and you always say that term, what's their fastball? It's their first move that they go to, right? That's what they like. Some guys are speed to power, some guys are speed and then turn the corner, some guys, then their counter. What's the counter? You all have saw back here the counter used to be the spin move, remember? With the guys, with Mathis and Freeney, but they're all working that out. They're working that out right now, and that's the process that we're going through, but we like where they are for sure.
We stuck to EJ, as you saw. Where has he grown? I guess now it's year 3. He was talking about being a pass rusher, largely in college, and a guy who played the line of scrimmage, and now having to backpedal do those things. How's he grown the most?
Yeah, I just think from A to Z, because when you look at where the starting point, we always look at that with players. you know, where is their baseline and where are they starting at, and then how can we grow from there? You know, a lot of guys, you know, like Akari Willis was at Michigan State, and you know he had been playing quarters and half and you know man free and all these different coverages that you play up in the NFL, and then his baseline is a little bit higher. So you know we're going to grow in some steps there. Whereas a guy that might come from a small college, his baseline, and not to say a certain college, I should say, that you know their baseline might be lower in terms of that, and then now we need to work them up in terms of the concepts, okay, the fundamentals, and that's where EJ has grown the most. He's been, you know, just trying to get all the knowledge he can on the coverage concepts, on the just basic football in terms of keeping the cup, you know, his gaps, when to hit his gap, you know, when to go over the top, all the little details that it takes to play linebacker, and it's been great that he's been in there. So he's to me, this camp has been the biggest growth he's had since he's been here, which is really good because most of the times with rookies you say, okay, the second year, we've all said that, the second year is the biggest growth. Well, I think this year, this camp has been the biggest growth for EJ going forward, just from me observing him.
Do you envision him having a role similar to what Bobby Okereke had the last couple of years?
Yeah, that would be our hope. If we could have three guys that could step up there. He's not there yet. He's not there yet, you know, in terms of being a starter in that inside backer spot. But we're working that. We're trying to work into that situation. Yes, sir.